Hey, you want to hear some poems about ducks?
No.
Nah.
Nope.
Maybe. Howdy folks, Grok the DuckFarmer here, and I'm on the FTOG Quantus server, hanging out here in my advanced rocketry room. Last episode, I went ahead and got these 6 machines set up, and you know, they're fun. I like the animations. I love the details on them. They're fantastic. And I've since then gone through and used each and every one of them several times, some more than others, like, you know, these two. They got used a whole bunch. Because what we want to do at this point is get these things, make the bits that need to make the stuff to get me out to space. That's what we're looking at doing here today. So let's come over here. I'm going to need some more power, so let's go ahead and just grab all these guys. You are all mine, I tell you. Alright, so over here, we want to not fall. We want to come over here and start setting up the stuff that we need to do. And I've got a bunch of stuff here already configured. Here's all my equipment as far as getting out to space. I'm going to build things backwards for right now. So let's snag some of these things here. Let's see, that I don't need till a little bit later. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and you go away. Launchpad, that's the first thing I'm going to go ahead and set up, and let's stick it over here. Something like this. I spent some time, 4, 5, 6, 7, in a creative world playing with the various options and seeing if I could discover a good way to make the rocket setup. And I got a design that works and also looks good. Looks good enough, and so I'm going to go with that. And I technically could go with a little bit smaller launch pad, but I'm going to go with this because, you know, this is pretty darn cheap to make. Okay, so that's the launch pad piece there, and it needs the rocket assembly machine, and I'm going to stick that. Need a block. I'm going to stick that right here. So that's going to go there, and let's break. Nope. Use the right tool. Alright, and let's grab a power cell because that needs power. So you need to be all going out. Done? Yes, done. Alright, so at this point it's got power, and with this, when you design your rocket, you can have it scan and tell you the thrust, weight, fuel, and acceleration it has to see whether or not it's going to be acceptable. Now I want, I need to make a structure tower for that, so let's go ahead and do this. Actually, I need to grab my little crafter because I'm gonna go ahead and I need 16, but I'll do the last one here with you because a lot of the stuff I've pre-made. Let's see, you can go away because I don't need you anymore. So I need 16 of these, and I think I'm gonna just stick that here in this corner because why not? So that defines how tall the rocket's going to be. So, you know, it's got a decent heft to it, and this defines the, you know, width and depth of the rocket. So that's what we've got going on there. So this is the rocket assembly machine. The other thing that we really need for that is the fueling station, and I'm going to go ahead and slap that right there. So it's getting power also from there. Of course, no fuel. So that's the next thing to do. We need to go ahead and grab some fueling bits here. Let's go you, and you. So let's see. Are you still set to make? Nope. Shift. And I want the chemical reactor is exactly the one I want. So let's click you there. Let's click you here. And you are the input and you are the output. So I've got it right there to sit there and give me the stuff I need. So let's go ahead and no, wrong place. And you're wrong and you're wrong. So let's go ahead and slap that again. All right. So if I use my mouse button to pick up stuff, that will grab those. And then you're an output hatch, you are a machine structure, you are a fluid output, and then we shift scroll. Alright, you are a fluid input, fluid input, and the final chemical reactor here. And if I right click that, it's all set up. Now this needs power, so these two areas are power here. Let's just go ahead and put that underneath, because why not? We can do that. So you go there, and let's set you to out, set you to out, and then we can go ahead and put those pieces there. Now this is going to go ahead and output the fuel that it's making, and like I said, I'm doing this backwards, but that's okay. Let's go ahead and stick these two pieces in place, set you to extract and always, and set you to insert. All right, and that way this will start getting the fuel that we want. Nice, nice. That'll work very, very well there. Okay, so that piece is done, and I believe the hydrogen goes in there and the oxygen goes in there. It combines the two, processes them, and makes the fuel here. So to do what we need to separate out water into its component pieces, and for that we need the electrolyzer. There's the electrolyzer, and I'm going to go ahead and mount it up a block, because here's the center block here, right there. Dink. Yes, because it's right where we need it to be. Okay, so let's clear off a space here. Let's grab these bits for the electrolyzer. So there's the fluid output, there's the electrolyzer itself, structure, input, machine structure, fluid output. Let's scroll up. Where did you go? There you went. Let's scroll up, and we need power here. Now let's clear something out of the room so I can do this. Power goes there, power goes there, and the last machine structure, that should, oh no, what are we missing? We're missing the actual, I'm missing something. What am I missing? Because this isn't done. I need the actual, no. It's saying there's something invalid right there. Funky. Okay, well let's tear it down and try that again with the right tool. Let's get down on the ground. I am going to move it back one just to make sure it is happy. So you are going to go back one. And right there. All right. I'm just thinking, you know, it makes no sense to have it too far away from where it needs to be. Okay, so you are an input, and you are the electrolyzer, and you are a fluid output. You are machine structure, input, machine structure, power, structure, and power. So there's all the bits. Let's go ahead and right-click you. Why are you not valid? All right, let's look at the thingy here, electrolyzer. There's the electrolyzer. Fluid output. Oh, that's got an input hatch there. That should not be that. That should be a fluid output. That's an input hatch. See, that's a fluid output, fluid output. Why did this build it the wrong way? Or did I have the wrong pieces? Did I not make fluid out? No, that's a fluid output hatch. So that's correct. That's correct. Why are you no working? I had built this already and it was working. So output, electrolyzer output, machine structure, fluid input, machine structure. So there's the machine structure. There's the fluid input. And if we break it, it'll tell us that. See, that's the fluid input hatch. So that's what we're looking for. And let's go ahead and break that so it's out of the way. It's like it wants something right here that's not present, but there's nothing here. Okay. I'm not sure why that's not liking that. Okay, let me see if I can figure out why, and I'll be back. I finally figured it out. It looks like it really doesn't want to get too close, so it's gonna be here. So we'll do that real quick. Assemble. And I love being able to just hit my button to pick the block I think that's a fantastic way of doing this. Power input and power input, done. And so if I right click this guy, done. Okay, so let's go ahead and get rid of that little block because we don't need that there. And with all of these things, we should turn them on because that's kind of important. I want to turn you on. Why can't I? Oh, because it's the top one on the top. That's why. So that's turned on. This doesn't need to be turned on. That doesn't need to be turned on. Okay, so these two are turned on. So let's go ahead and connect them wise, because this is going to be electrolyzing stuff here. And although technically this is a gas, but I'm guessing they're treating this as a fluid that it's created, as opposed to dealing with gases, which is good for me. I'm happy with that because then I could use my fluid piece. So not extract, I want insert, and you are going to be extracting. There we go. And always active. Okay, so that is working there. And then power-wise, let's go ahead and grab these two. And I'm going to stick them here on the sides. Why not? Because I can. So there's that. Now this right here needs liquid. That needs water coming in. And so I've got a water tank here, and I've got the fluid conduit, so we can go ahead and stick one right there. Let's go ahead and have you insert, and let's have you extract. Always active. So now let's see what it's doing. Yeah, you've got the nice little zapping going on right there. And this is proceeding along, and that's going to go ahead and actually make in here some oxygen and some, yeah, there's a little bit of oxygen and it immediately pulled it right out. So that's got lots of storage, that's got lots of storage. This is going to go ahead and there's the hydrogen here, so we're making it faster than the fuel can be made. And if we come over here, we got a little bit of rocketry fuel. Cool. So that's working out nicely. One of the things that I'm thinking would be really good, I can take and put these in here, and it should, when it's got, these hold 4,000 millibuckets. So once this is got 4,000 here, it'll go ahead and fill up this. And I'm hoping, let's try, that I can sit there and pull it out. I have not tested this. I have no idea if it can, but you know, we'll see how if that works. So let's set you to extract and set you to insert, and it just yanked out the top. So I mean, okay, so that's not going to work unless maybe it comes from the bottom. I'm guessing it probably doesn't. So you are not a possibility. Darn. Oh well. What I will do is I will go ahead and put the tanks in here. And the idea is it's going to need, my rocket is going to need a huge amount of fuel. So I'm going to let this run for a while, and hopefully I have been smart and not built across chunk lines. Oh, that was very fortuitous. So that means I'm going to go ahead and stick one of these ender anchors here to just load this chunk. And we'll stick it right there, why not? Okay, so this chunk is going to get loaded. I don't really need this area over here, so I may tear that down just because it's not necessary. One other thing, I need to be able to charge the oxygen I have in my spacesuit, and for that I've got a gas charge pad, and I'm going to go ahead and stick him right there off of this one. And so if we jump up, not necessarily needed to fly, but jump up. So I can go ahead and set this to insert. So now, let's take this off and put this on. No, let's actually put that on. And there's the head. And you can see I've got the thing on the side, and you can show down at the bottom, just above my food, the O2 is empty. So if I stand on here, there goes the blue. All right, so we're charging this up with oxygen. And I'm thinking that's just charging the first two tanks. The second two tanks would be holding hydrogen. But because I've got flight capabilities, I'm not even worried about charging up my system with hydrogen. So otherwise I'd set up another one of these gas charge pads over on this one, and I could get hydrogen. Don't need it, don't need it. Alrighty, so this just needs time, because I need to sit there and get a whole bunch of this rocket fuel. When I was playing with this in single player, I needed several of these fueling stations filled to fill up my rocket. So I'm not even going to worry about building my rocket until I've got plenty of rocket fuel. So that's the plan for right now, is to just let this run, hence the anchor. Let this just run and generate me a whole bunch of fuel, and then I'll come back and get myself a rocket assembled and see if we can get it off out into space. And I'm in space! Okay, no, I'm just standing on top of my gantry here, but I think I've got everything done. Dunk. So I went ahead and let this run for quite a while, and so there's plenty of fuel here, and I've got 30 of these tanks, because I had made all that aluminum anyway. I figured, why not? So I went ahead and put it over here. This is where the fuel goes from the fluid into the tank. This is the other way around. It goes from the tank into the rocket launcher thingamajigger. So I just set it up so all the tanks would fill into the chest here, and got plenty. So it is time to go ahead and start making something. Now, the simplest rocket that you can set up is this. So let's go take a look here. That's your simplest rocket. It takes an engine, and let's take a quick look at the recipes, because I built these all off camera. Went ahead and took some steel, lots of steel, and titanium, which I got earlier. So I made 13 total of these, and then I've got 53 of these liquid fuel rocket tanks, and that takes even more steel. So 2 there, and another 2 if you use the lathe. So that's 4 steel for each one of those. So yes, lots and lots of steel to make that happen. Anyway, let's go ahead and scan this guy. Now it says not enough fuel capacity. Well, I'm thinking that's always kind of the default, isn't it? Because there's no fuel loaded in it. But we'll let this scan and see what it says. Scan, 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 scan. Of course, that may be left over from the last time I was messing with this. Let's find out. You know, for the quick test, it would go faster if I knock this down some, but that's okay. And what do you say? Survey says not enough fuel capacity. So it needs more tanks in there. So that's not what I was planning on sending up into space. No, I need a little bit more than that. And for fun, I went ahead and did this design. And I spent a little bit of time in creative, messing with different rockets designs and seeing what I could come up with, and not there. And I ended up going with 13 of these rockets here at the bottom, because, you know, why not? And this is the design I came up with. Let's see, you've got 2 on the outsides, yeah, like that. And then I do like the model of this. As soon as there's 2, they've got that nice looking top. I like that. Whoops. Hey, you come back here, you. All right, so let's pop that there, and I think we did one more layer here, and then a center layer. Yeah, that's what we did. A double of that. Okay, so there's all used up like that. And for fun, I went ahead and made some of these dark iron bars, just because I thought it added a nice little je ne sais quoi to the rocket. And I played with the regular iron, and I said, no, I want something that looks even better, going with kind of a dark theme here. So let's use this black quartz like that, and we'll put the guidance computer right there in the middle. And where's my seat? Here's my seat. Looks like a piece of carpet, but nope, it is an actual seat. Yes, that's a seat. I need to be able to see out. Some of my tests, I made some black stained glass, and you couldn't see out of it, which was no fun whatsoever, because I like to be able to see where I'm going. And I really like black stained glass, but oh well, that's the way it goes. So we got more of this chiseled stuff here. I need an extra block. Let's go doink and put you there. Yep, that'll work. And then for more fun, let's go ahead and boink, boink, and that makes us right to the top. We've got one extra. Well, in that case, let's go ahead and doink. There. I must have miscounted the height that I needed, but that's okay. So this is my rocket, and I think that will hold everything I need. Let's go ahead and give this a check and see. It's gonna take a lot longer, I think, to scan. Okay, I lied. No, this looks like it's taking about the exact same time. So the scanning must be a function on the height, width, and length. So, you know, if you had something like a 3x3 platform and I think 4 high is as small as you can get it, it goes zoom, that fast. But that's not what I wanted. So let's see what you got. Clear for liftoff. Okay, so this has plenty of fuel. I think that's fuel that it's going to be spending per, millibuckets per second. Lots of thrust. The acceleration looks like it's teeny tiny. Could I get off the Earth with an acceleration of 0.07 meters per second? If that kept going, yes. Eventually you could do that, but holy cow. So let's go ahead and hit it, tell it to build. And it was green. Now this time it's doing the red pass. When this is done, it should change the texture of these tanks. It should make it a complete piece. Right now I'm looking at individual tanks, individual engines, and it should be one solid object when it's all said and done. And done. So now we have, when I look at it, it's rocket. And that's looking really good. So at this point, rocket unscanned. What do you mean unscanned? Oh, well, we'll go ahead and tell it to scan. I already scanned it. Why is it saying it's unscanned? What I do want to do is get fuel into here. Now, I could take this linker and shift-click this fueling station, and I could click it on this rocket, but I would rather click it here, because what that means is it's going to go ahead and start shoving the fuel into whatever rocket is on this pad. What's ever here, I think would be a better deal. So let's see how much. Yeah, the fuel's going down a little. Can I look at this thing? Whoa. No, I don't want to get it in here yet. Let me go ahead and take a look. Let's see. There we go. If you hit shift, it gets you out. And I'm thinking it probably would be helpful to have some way, if you're doing this in survival, like I am, but with flight, having some way of walking over and getting off. Can I? Oh, nope. Just a little bit too far. Maybe if I had it over a little bit, I could walk straight off of it. Or maybe this is one wider than it needs to be. Okay, shift click. Here's the fuel. Fuel is slowly going up. I've got lots of these tanks. Can I right click it? Shift right click it? What happened to all my tanks? That's a whole lot more fuel. I think it went ahead and shoved all that fuel in. Although I don't know what happened to the rest of my stuff. Anyway, this is cranking out. Yeah, the fuel's coming out of here. Done. Now it's going to be filling out of here. Chugga, 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 and I think it's finished. Let's shift click this. Yeah, okay, so this is completely fueled. Wow, that took a lot of these extra tanks. Holy cow, that took 29 of these. That's a lot of fuel. Or maybe if I relog, I'll get those back, but that seems very, very strange. All right, so this is ready to go, right? Well, not quite. What we need to do is... No, I didn't want to right-click you. Fall down. Thump. I wanted to shift-click so I can go into the guidance computer and put this planet chip, and it's unprogrammed right now, so it doesn't know where to go. So if I shift right-click this guy, I can select the destination. So let's go ahead and do that, and we've got, of course, the overworld is a nice cube, because everything in the overworld is a cube. But here's the moon, so Luna. We'll go ahead and select that. Dink. And if we shift click again, go into here, this is now programmed for Luna. So before, when I was going into here, it was saying press space to take off, but destination unknown. And it needed to be, programmed. It is now programmed. And I'm thinking the GUI is way too big. So I'm going to go ahead and change this video settings. GUI auto, let's do DD. Let's go large, and then auto is even bigger. Now let's go to large instead of auto. All right, so done. Oh yeah, see that's easier. It doesn't come screaming off the page like before. I kind of like the slightly bigger because it makes it easier for people to see what I'm looking at. But I can't figure out how to change that. But before we go ahead and blanch off to space. Can you see? Okay. Yeah. That's that weird visual glitch. If you don't see it below you, it just disappears. Before we take off, I want to just sit there and talk about the server for a little bit. The Quantus server has been a blast, and the people have been so much fun to play with on the server. But yes, this is my last episode on the server. We've unlocked the last era, which is the space era, and I'm heading off to space. And so I think I'm going to do just a quick little slideshow of some of the builds of the various people that are whitelisted on the server. You should recognize them because you've been checking out everybody's videos on the server, right? You have been checking everybody's video on the server, right? Yes, okay. So we'll just run a quick little montage of stuff that people have done, remember some of the things that they've done on the server, and then we'll blast off. Well, I hope you enjoyed that little slideshow of what some of the people on the server have done. It's been a great series. There's been a ton of wonderful things that people have built on the server, a bunch of fun projects, and all good people. So it's a little bit sad to call an end to a series, but it's the last age. We've reached the space era, and I'm ready to take off and explore new worlds, starting with the moon. Well, it's a brand new day kicking in on us, and of course, we could launch at night, because when else would you go to the moon, right? At night, right? Well, no, you can go at any time. In fact, we're going to do that right now. So let's head on down, right-click. Now we got destination. Let's get into this mode here so you can see what's going on. Kind of miss it can't see, but I want to see down below and see what's going on there. Alrighty, let's call this in. Houston Control, Grok the Duck Farmer here in the Flying Duck Flop. Ready for departure. Over.
Roger that, Flying Duck Flop. You are clear for launch. Over.
Thank you, Houston Control. Taking off in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Liftoff. Ooh, this is kind of fun. Ooh. Bye, world. It's been fun. Destination to the moon. Let's turn on the GUI because there you can see the altitude in the top left. We're getting closer and closer and closer. Plenty of fuel. We're almost there. Oh yeah. We have made it. Well, we're in moon orbit. I don't know if I'd say we made it, but let's go ahead and descend. Down. So now the altitude is taking me down. You know, I'm seeing in the little mini map there are slime islands up here on the moon. Who knew? Alright. Oh, it must be dark. Oh, it must be very dark here on the moon. Oh, nope, not so dark. Retrojets have fired off. And the Flying Duck Flop has landed. Alright. Boink. Well, thank you, people, and one and all. I so very much appreciate your views and your comments and all the inspiration and wonderful things that you've done for me. This is end of the series. And, you know, there's always a little bit of sadness of closing out a series, but there's wonderful people out there still. There's more games to play, and I'm continuing other series even as we speak, working on the FTOG Nuts and Bolts server, and you can be on there too. Yes, you. And also playing Age of Engineering and streaming that a couple times a week. This is the way it seems to go. Anyway, I'm here on the moon, and it's time to launch off onto other brave new worlds. This has been Grok the Duck Farmer here on the FTOG Quantus server, having a blast. Thanks for watching. Bye.